Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to tell you how to start playing volleyball for beginners. Now, let's talk about the basic structure of volleyball. First to 25. So you only go to 25 points in volleyball in each set, but you always have to win by 2. So say that the score is 25-24. The team who is up right now has to get to 26 and then they'll win the set. But if the other team ties it and then it's 25-25 or whatever, then they have to go to 27 because they have to win by 2 regardless. And once again, volleyball is played in sets. So usually like if you're like in middle school or maybe like younger, or sometimes club tournaments do this too. Actually, no, I think club tournaments do this. You play best 2 out of 3. So that's best 2 out of 3 sets, meaning that the first team to win 2 sets wins. Now, if you split, like one team wins the first set and the other team wins the second set, you go to a third set and that's like a tiebreaker set and that goes to 15 points. And then once you get more advanced, like maybe like the high school level, yeah, high school sometimes, like if it's not like in a tournament setting, I think they'll play 3 out of 5. And then college, you'll play best 3 out of 5. So that's the first team to win 3 sets out of 5. And once again, if you go back and forth, like each team wins 2 sets, that means you're gonna go to a 5th set. Once again, you're going to 15 and you have to win by 2. Another basic rule is that there's only 6 players allowed on the court at a time, and you have to rotate and stay in rotation, because if you get out of rotation, that is a violation and a point for the other team. When you start the match or start the set, you're going to be lined up in your service order, and there can only be 6 people on the court. If you're wondering how a libero comes into play, a libero can come in for anyone who is back row, like literally anyone, but usually they come in for the middle, who's going to be rotating front row. Eventually they play their back row, because usually middles don't play defense. So, and then another basic rule is that you cannot touch the ball twice. That's called like a double hit, a double, whatever. That's also a violation and another point for the other team. So a double touch is like you touch the ball once and then you touch it again. Like you cannot do that. You can touch it once, but then someone else has to play it and then you can touch it again, but you can't touch it consecutively. Okay, so first of all, let's clarify the objective of volleyball. The objective of volleyball is to basically send the ball over the net and you want it to land on your opponent's side, and that's how you score a point. There's other ways to score a point. You can score off of your serve. You can score by hitting the ball down. You can score by hitting the ball off the block. Just as long as the ball touches the ground or it touches an opposing player, you will score a point. Okay, so in my opinion, there are levels to the volleyball skills. There's like the basic ones, the medium ones, and then like the ones that are a little more advanced. So let's start with the basics. Okay, so in my opinion, the basis of volleyball is serve receive. Now, I am a serve receive hater, certified hater. I hate serve receive, but that's besides the point. Serve receive is definitely like the most important skill in my opinion, just because you cannot score without serve receive. You need to be able to receive the serve in order to even run an offense or to even attempt to score. Serve receive is basically when you have 3 people across. Some coaches run different schemes, but typically it's just 3 people across. 1 player is in zone 1, 6, and 5. So they're basically like in lanes, if you will. So whoever gets served, that's the person who's gonna be receiving the ball. They want to get a good pass to the setter, and that's how you start running an offense. Now, if you want to know how to like serve receive and stuff, I think I have a video on that. I'm not sure, but if I don't, just leave a comment and I will answer your question. Next, to go along with that, is free ball passing. Free ball passing is so important because once again, that is like the gift of volleyball. Coaches will always say that like another team giving you a free ball is like a free point essentially, because usually when you get a free ball, you should almost always be converting that into a point. So for example, a free ball is basically just when the other team will have to free ball the ball over the net, meaning that they're using their platform to pass the ball over or they're just setting it over. That's a free ball. And that's why it's so important to be able to free ball pass, because that is like literally the most like basic skill almost, and it's almost like a gift. So it's like really important to master, but luckily it's really easy to learn how to free ball pass and to perfect it. So that's something that you don't really have to like harp on usually, but once you get it down, like you kind of have it down like forever. And lastly, like the core basic of volleyball is serving. Serving and serve receive obviously go together, but once again, scoring cannot happen without serving. You need to be able to serve the ball over the net and inbounds in order to even give your team a chance to score. So when you serve the ball over the net, that is when you are in defense. You don't get the opportunity to try to score first because you're serving the ball over, so you're defending first technically. So once you serve over, that's when you run into your defensive spot and wait for the other team to attack, and then either you defend it or you get scored on. And there's a bunch of different kind of serves, like jump serves, topspin serves, float serves, like side spin. There's so many things, but we're not gonna get into that. Now for like basically like all the other skills, so we're gonna get into hitting. Hitting is like kind of the fun part. I feel like hitting is like the more glorified part of volleyball. Everyone's like, ooh, like, oh my gosh, like, wow, like she hit the ball so hard, blah, blah, blah. Hitting is, once again, essential because you need that to score. Do you need it to score as in serving and serve receive? No, but it is important that you can attack the ball because that's how you're probably going to score a point. Because obviously you want to attack the ball instead of giving them a free ball because you want to be aggressive. The more aggressive you are, usually the ball will hit the ground, or the more pace that's on the ball, they usually won't be able to dig it. Like, you just want to make it difficult for the other team. So hitting is how you do that. And it's usually on the third contact because you know you get three contacts in volleyball. And basically you're just going up and you're going to be hitting the ball over the net. That is an attack. Next skill is setting. Setting is just when you are basically like the setter or whoever. Honestly, anyone can be a setter, but it's the person taking the second contact, and that person is going to set up a person to attack the ball over. And setting is usually overhand, but sometimes if you're going to pinch, you can set with your platform. Blocking. Blocking is very important. Blocking is like the first line of defense, if you will. Blocking is when you and another person are setting up like a blockade, if you will. Think of it like that. And you're jumping up trying to prevent the other team from attacking the ball over the net. So essentially you're trying to like take up space on their side of the net to where the ball that they're attacking hits you and goes back on their side of the court for a point. Defense is when you are trying to defend the attack from the other team. So this is like a hard driven ball. It's usually top spin. It's usually when someone's jumping up and hitting the ball as hard as they can. That is an attack, and that's where you're going to be defending. That's it for today's video, you guys. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it and it was informative. If it was, let me know, and let me know if you have any questions, and leave it in the comments. All right, I'll see y'all later. Bye.